Hello everybody, today I'm recording the vlog with a bar, I guess you would call that, almost like a selfie stick, but not really. It's like a very small ring light on one of those really flexible metal arms. It is currently Friday before Easter, and my mom and my brother and my aunt are coming over on Easter Day, the 1st of Easter, and that means I have a lot of cleaning up to do. Hopefully she'll be here at noon as normal. Which she doesn't always do. She tends to have this thing where she's not really good with time, but she's also not very good with keeping other people informed about what her plans are. She kind of just has this idea that if she's thought something up, then everybody else will either already know about it, or if you are notified about what she was thinking, you're automatically going to agree because of course it's such a great plan and stuff like that. So she's kind of like that. Last Christmas, I may have already told this story, but she was supposed to come over here and my brother was going to come over here. We were just going to have like a game afternoon and then have dinner around 4 or 5 or something, and then around 8 o'clock everybody would go home, except me of course. I was already home. And so we were expecting that, my brother and I. But instead, she showed up at 10 o'clock at my place, and I still needed to do some sweeping. I still always wanted to do some mopping, because mopping is the last thing I do after a whole cleanup round when I know people are coming. So I wasn't able to do that, and so that was a little bit panic mode there, because we didn't know that she was going to come so early. But the reason why she was early, and this is how she'll tell us, she is like, oh, my partner Theo is like, oh, you need to be back, or at least start leaving when it's still light, and then you don't have to drive in the dark for so long and stuff like that, so you need to leave earlier. And so she had agreed to that, but she didn't tell us that she was going to be here earlier. So not only was she here earlier, it led to us having a Christmas dinner at around noonish, 1 or 2 o'clock maybe, something along this line, early afternoon in any case, because she had to be at the door by 4. So everything that we had planned for that day kind of just had to be squashed into a few hours less. And she thought that that was no problem, and she was kind of surprised that we were like, why is she here already? It's 10 o'clock, what's going on? Because in her mind, that's a perfectly reasonable idea and a perfectly reasonable plan. Except that she didn't tell us that that was the plan. I was expecting to have people over, I had the big tree set up and I got everything decorated. I got all this special stuff and all these extra food items and stuff like that. Only to be home alone at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Christmas thinking, so this was my Christmas apparently, because she's already gone and my brother left shortly after as well. So it was a few hours in the early afternoon and that was it. That was my Christmas. And that was kind of disappointing. But she doesn't think about stuff like that. She just thinks, oh, this is handy. It's a good idea that I should come home earlier and I don't have to drive in the dark, and I'm just going to be there at 10 and I'll leave at about 4 and everything will be fine. Just that we didn't know about it. So that's a little bit annoying. So I hope she's going to be here at noon as per usual on Easter. Otherwise I'm going to have an issue. I'm going to have to do a lot of extra cleaning and dusting today and tomorrow, mostly tomorrow probably, because she might still show up early. I don't know what her plan is. She doesn't tell us what the plan is, so we'll have to just see what happens, which is really annoying that she doesn't care about that, because she tends to be late. First of all, when you do have a time set up with her, she tends to be late. And I've also talked in one of the streams, or maybe 2 streams by now, that we were originally going to go to the Keukenhof with the flowers and stuff like that, and that was a huge issue going back and forth because she suggested the idea, and then my brother and I was like, okay, sure. And then she was probably thinking, oh, I actually have to go now. I actually don't want to do that, so let me come up with all these weird excuses for why we probably shouldn't go. It's raining today, and this was sometime in March, and she sent this message, oh, it's raining today, do you really want to go to the Keukenhof if it's raining? Maybe we should go some other time, when it's my birthday in July, and all these different excuses to try and crawl back out of her original plan. And then ultimately she had the nerve to tell me that we weren't going to go to the Keukenhof because my brother apparently didn't feel like it. But my brother and I, of course, app each other as well, so he'd already shown me what she was sending him, so I knew that he wasn't the one saying that we shouldn't be going. But that was basically her trying to back out of it. So I didn't really respond to that anymore, because if you try to call her out on her little lies and stuff like that, she just kind of denies everything and glosses over it. And throws up a smoke cloud, and then you just kind of get lost in the little details and arguing back and forth, and it doesn't help anything. So we're not going at that particular day. Maybe we'll go some other time, but even I think that will probably get canceled because I don't think she really wants to go. One of the main reasons why she probably didn't want to go is because I looked at the website of the Go Golf and it said that you have to, in order to buy a ticket, you have to indicate what time you're going to be arriving. That's one of her biggest weak points. She never really wants to be tied down to a time because she's just not punctual. So that was probably the biggest reason why she didn't want to go. So instead of just saying that, she has to come up with all these different excuses. But okay, she's coming over on coming over on Sunday, and we'll see. I have to clean stuff up. That's the end of that. So another thing that I did today was I went through all of my clothes to see what was winter clothing and what could I still wear in the spring and summer. And I also made a whole big pile of clothes that I wanted to donate because I never really wear them. And I also went through all my winter stuff upstairs in the attic because of course that's where all my winter stuff went and where the winter stuff is going to go that I still have. And I ended up with a whole bunch of clothes that I just never really wear. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, but I just never really want to put them on anymore. It's not my style anymore, or it just doesn't fit properly. Like, sometimes you have an outfit that fits, but it's not really a fit that you like. So just like get rid of stuff like that. And I ended up with about 4 bags of clothing. I also had a bag of bags set aside that I wanted to have at some point but never actually used because I don't tend to use handbags. I just tend to put everything in my pockets. Anyway, so I put a bag of bags aside and I found a water boiler that I wasn't using anymore but still works. So I went there to the thrift store today as well to deliver 5 bags, a whole bunch of stuff. And that felt really good just to clear out everything. I think it's also like a spring cleaning thing. You want to get rid of old stuff. And there's still some old clothes or a stack of clothes on my couch in the bedroom where I tend to put stuff that I still need to put away, that I still need to sort through, whether it is spring and summer ready or if I need to put that upstairs for next winter. So I have some of that to do as well. And while going through those clothes, I thought, it might be handy if I put little tags on it to indicate when I last wore it so that I know oh, this one has been a while. Maybe if I haven't worn it in a year, maybe I should get rid of it or something. Maybe it'll last 6 months, and then go through the outfits every 6 months or so and check the dates. So I went to the HEMA, which is one of the favorite stores that I tend to go to. It's like a store that has just about everything in the Netherlands, and I got these tags, and they're actually for gift cards. They're for gifts, like gift tags. And they have a little hole in them, which I thought was very handy. Now I just want to check the material after I drag everything. Let me just grab a few. Let me see now. This looks like cardboard. Yeah, it's smooth cardboard. So I was thinking maybe I could use a whiteboard marker so I could erase it every once in a while. But I think it's going to stay on there, the whiteboard marker marking. I could try pencil maybe, but pencil probably won't do too well. Maybe on this side pencil will work. I don't know, so I can use them multiple times is the idea. So I just have a bunch of these, a bunch of different colors. Like these are green and yellow, like that. And then we also have some blue and pink, like this. And I went and got myself some safety pins, same store, so I can just pin this on the item itself. There you are. Keep looking over here at the stop button, but that's not where you are. So I have some safety pins as well, so I can pin them on the clothes. And then we'll see how that works for keeping my wardrobe clear. Now the thing is, I tend to have a lot of stuff that I think is nice and that I think I might wear someday, but then I end up not wearing it because there's no occasions for me to wear it, or it's just not really something that I would wear to work or something. Also not really something that I would wear to lounge around the house. So it's kind of like in the middle. Like I have had a couple of good outfits that would be worn for official occasions, like if you were invited to some official party, like a wedding or something along those lines. But I don't tend to have those events, so I really have no use for items like that. So I went ahead and got rid of a whole bunch of them, and I figured if I really needed something, I could probably go and get something new when I need it, instead of having it sit in my closet for so long, where it's just kind of taking up space and also needs to be washed occasionally, which if I'm not wearing, it's kind of a waste of resources. So I'm going to put tags on them and then we'll see how that goes. So these are gift tags. If you wanted to try doing that yourself, you can probably find some store that tends to sell gift tags or gift stuff, wrappings and stuff that has a bunch of these. And then you just pin one on per item, and then you just check every once in a while to see if the date is far away, since you last wore it, since you last remembered wearing it. And I think I might put the date of today for items that I don't recall wearing, like when I wore them last. Just kind of like set a time slot, like, okay, from this point on, we're going to count how long it sits on a hanger on the rack, and then we'll see how it goes. All right, so that is the plan. I have tried putting an outfit together, and I'm not sure if I'm going to wear that either, but it's more of like a sewing practice thing. So I have this pink black outfit. I'm still working on it because it's one of the first sewing projects that I've actually undertaken that is in an article of clothing, because I made a bag a while ago. I put a picture of that on Discord as well. And I've made some of those cleaning rags, and I've also made, from that same material that I made a bag from, I put like 2 sheets together, like sewed it all the way across, so it's like a 30 by 50 centimeter rectangle thing, and I'm thinking I could use that as like a reusable lunch wrap thing. Like you have this thing with people that have like these special cloth items, I think with a waterproof inside that you can put like your sandwiches in, and they don't have to keep using plastic bags for that type of thing. So like a reduction of waste type of idea that you could potentially use if you ever go to work with a lunch bag or something. So I'm thinking about making those, because the fabric that I have that I got for that bag, it's a polyester, it's 100% polyester, so I think it is kinda waterproof-ish, not too much. I don't know actually how much it is, but I think it'll be good enough for sandwiches and stuff like that to just be able to carry those with me, dust-free and all that, and then we'll see how it goes. And I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of them, so I have a bunch that I can put in the wash and a bunch that I'm actually using, and just kind of try it out and see how it goes. I'll probably put a picture up of one of those as well. It's not super interesting to look at this one because it's the same fabric as the bag that I made, so it kind of looks exactly the same as the other one. No, actually it wasn't done yet. I thought I was done with the sewing story, but I've made the bag, I've made those sandwich wrap things, and the clothing item that I was working on is the first big project that I made. I've watched a whole bunch of videos on how to make simple dresses and stuff like that, and I thought, okay, I could try that. I have a bunch of fabric laying upstairs. Why don't I try making one of those simple dresses, which of course is not as simple as it turns out. At least I don't think it was that simple, particularly because of course I had to do a bunch of fixing after the fact, because first of all, the thing that I made was a little bit too tight. I definitely wasn't able to wear it very much. It was like, if I can not move, it probably won't, I could put it on, but if I just had to do anything but like sit down, it would have been too tight. So it wasn't quite the right size. And so I went and made some side panels from the armhole down, and that was too wide. So I then had to put it on a dress form to try and take it in like from this area down here, almost like down to the waist, to bring it in a little bit, and then the rest at the bottom can flow out. That's fine, but it was a bit of a hassle as well, and it led to a really ugly seam running on the outside of the dress. Also, I had made a mistake with putting it together, that the straps over here were sewn on the wrong side. So the ugly side of the hem was on the outside, and the good hems on the outside were on the inside. So I had to like turn it inside out, and then I had to find a way to hide those ugly hems here, and also the ones down the side that were like super ugly, because I had taken them in and I had like hand sewn them into place, because it turned into a big bunch of cloth, and I don't think I can put that under the sewing machine. That wouldn't have worked very well. And so I decided to hand sew that, but that left a really ugly bump. So now I'm going to try to cover those up with some tape that I found also in the same store where I got the same fabric for the sandwich bags and stuff like that. And I'm going to have to hand sew that as well, because it's still too thick, and I tried putting it under the sewing machine yesterday, and it just didn't want to do it. So I'm going to be hand sewing that last little bit, and then it's fairly well done, I think. There were some issues that I needed to work on, some areas where the thread had gotten stuck in the machine, and when I tried to start over, the needle wasn't quite in the same place as where it was before, so you had like a disconnect between the two stitch lines, so to speak, so I had to try and figure it out how to fix that then. And all in all, it really looks like a poor attempt at a article of clothing, but for a first project, I don't think it's even that bad because I've never made one before, so it's wearable technically, and it doesn't look super good, but it works kind of like that. So it's kind of like something I could wear around the house maybe one day if I felt like it. So that was my first attempt at an article of clothing. I've already ordered some fabrics that I thought would be very nice for something flowy for the summer, so maybe I'll be able to make something with that, I don't know. More practice incoming. So that is my update for now. I'm hoping you'll have a nice weekend. Make sure to have a nice Easter, and we'll see you on Tuesday, where we'll just have our usual stream because it's on Tuesday and that is just a regular day, so hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, sure to stay healthy and happy and safe and all that, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.